Hello, hello everybody. Welcome to another tarot deck review. I know I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but the creator of this deck, Maria, did send me this to review, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I've taken a few weeks to really get a feel for it and use it and kind of understand how it communicates. And so now I have a much better, I can actually review it because I've been using it and actually using it for readings that I'm doing for friends and things. So let's go ahead and just dig right into it. And the first thing I will mention is the size. So you know that this is the standard deck that I compare it to, which is Morgan Greer. And so these cards are a bit bigger, right? They're a bit wider, a bit longer, but they're not bad. Even though I have pretty tiny hands, I can still shuffle these because they're flexible enough. So they don't shuffle poorly at all. It's really nice card quality in terms of, I like the finish because it's not glossy. It doesn't reflect any light. They're just really matte cards. So I actually like the finish on these quite a bit. And this entire deck is to empower women, so all of the images are of women. All of the characters are women. All of the imagery is really straightforward. So this deck communicates really clearly. Also, the suits are different. I'll show you the suits in a moment, but also, the court cards are different. So instead of page, knight, queen, king, it's child, teen, queen, boss. So that's how she's updated it. And let me, before I get into this anymore, I'll show you the suits. So there's think, or sorry, not think, this is create. So they have create, this is synonymous with wands, and then feel, this is synonymous with cups, earth, which is synonymous with pentacles, and think, which is synonymous with swords. So that is kind of her contemporary spin on these, and the colors are really straightforward and everything, so you can tell what kind of card is what. And I don't have all the major arcana cards memorized yet. It takes a while. When people redo those, it's a little bit harder for me to catch on to those, but the major arcana is purple in the background. So I'll just continue showing you some of these. And I also want to mention, because I have quite a few decks that are considered by the authors to be queer decks. This is not that. This is purely a feminist deck. So it's specifically for women, or the feminine, if you will. So this is, yeah, that's just a feel for the cards. And I would say one of the things that's really nice about this one is that it's very direct. One, like there's no, it's not elusive, it's not hard to interpret, it's very, very straightforward, especially as a beginner reader, that it would be super easy to read this deck. And the other thing is that, like, the color is really bold. If you guys know, I always recommend that if you're going to pick a deck, you want to get one with humans or animals that have an expression. You want one with color and something that sticks to traditional imagery. So She does a I will say when it comes to traditional imagery, that's the one thing that this doesn't have. So it's a little bit harder. Like if you were looking for a traditional deck, this wouldn't be my go-to because there's so much, she's changed a lot to like fit a different need for a different market, if that makes sense. So a lot of these cards are really positive, like there's not a single negative card, and she was really intentional with that. So it's kind of like there's no good and bad, it's only sticking to the positive side. And I know that there's a lot of people that are really sensitive that this would be good for. My personal style does tend to be on the darker side, and I like things that are creepy. So this deck isn't something that I am gonna bust out during like a client reading, only because in a client reading I need all the information. So there is part of this which is, if you're already familiar with tarot and you want something that's really positive and a little bit brighter, then this would be a good deck just because it's very uplifting and to the point. Like that is how I would describe this. But it's kind of like if you need all the information, the good and bad, then maybe sticking with something that has a little bit more traditional imagery might be a better fit for you, but it just depends on what you're needing. So that's the deck. Now I'm going to show you the box and the guidebook. So this is the guidebook that it comes with, and it has all of the card descriptions and a description of the suit and everything. And then some spreads that you can do, and, how to use the deck, everything like that. And then kind of Maria's mission is what this goes over, and kind of the purpose and the way she did the imagery, and everything about this deck is very intentional. And so it's kind of like she wanted to create something, and it kind of turned out exactly the way her mission for this deck was supposed to be. So it's like really spot on in terms of like it being easy to read, straightforward, simple imagery, and it being for female empowerment specifically, that specific niche. So then this is the box that it comes in, and you guys already know I prefer small boxes just for storage purposes, but I also have a ton of tarot decks, so that might be why I have some beef with these boxes. But it keeps everything contained if you leave the book on top. If you don't, then they're gonna fly all over the place. So that would be probably my only complaint is like the box, because I like things that have a lid. I don't know, it's just a personal preference thing. But this is how it comes. This is the way it's stored. And that is Hip Chick Tarot. So thank you so much, Maria. I'm really happy I got to review this deck. Thank you for sending it to me. And I believe you can get this on Amazon, but if there's any additional information, I will be putting it in the description box, and all of that good stuff. So that's everything. All right, and I hope you've appreciated this review for whatever it is. I hope it's answered some of your questions, and until next time, I will get back to doing my reviews. All right, have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.